Sorry,
Probably that is
I forgot
probably
to turn this on. Sorry.
probably that is partly answered when we discuss mentoring versus different kinds of professional learning. So it wouldn't be a bad idea probably to address that in a conclusion of the section rather
Sure.
than a new section.
Yeah. Okay,
I mean,
that makes
after
sense.
having had a look at these comparisons, then we can conclude that depending on what kind of professional learning you're aiming at, then you're going to choose mentoring or another kind of learning. I don't know what you think.
I think that's right, Elizabeth. Yeah, and it's coherent and it's simpler. Yeah,
Right, because
really
then
good.
I think
it's
we touched it in the starting, learning from others, learning with others, and learning by yourself. So maybe we can like conclude accordingly also, like whatever fits your learning outcome. Do you want to have a tutor? Do you want to be part of a co-op? Or do you just want to have a self-access course? What do you want?
yes, we can refer back to that and sort of there wrap up
Hmm.
what
Right.
was developed in the section.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So that's we've done the introduction, definitions, the models and frameworks. Then that was the next section. You're kind of happy with that, Sylvia?
Well,
You've deleted, yeah.
I think so. I think so. I think we have been going around this section
Yeah.
for so long that yeah.
Okay. So the next bit, the next section is on skills. And my response is the same. I've had another look at it. I've been round and round, and I could keep going and work more on it. I'm sure, which we'll probably do so. But I think at this stage, the second draft, it's okay. And my question here is that if I pick out the 37 discrete skills from the survey, would you be able to upload it then onto your ResearchGate, Sylvia?
Yeah, sure. Whatever document we build, yeah, can have this of more official site.
Mhm.
And
Can
then
we have a word cloud? Can we include images in, like in a word
yeah,
cloud, have everything there and just put that image there?
yes.
Would it be professional, academic?
Why not? Why not?
Okay, so John, we can make a word cloud of everything also. Like I can put everything in Mentimeter and it would not be a like upside down, it would be everything in straight boxes. And we can have an image and all of the skills would be there.
Okay.
I mean, these 37 discrete skills fall into these categories, don't they? Say,
That's right.
ability to analyze needs, and there are sub-skills. Ability to understand context, and there are sub-skills. So we need to think of the visual aid that can help us see the categorization.
Oh, these were the
Well,
top 8, but there were 3 main headings, I think.
four. There are four categories. We've got cognitive, emotional, social, and transformational. And all the 37, they fit into those four categories. That's what we did for the survey. Again, we could argue forever about, is it a skill? Is it a behavior? Is it emotional? Is it social kind of thing? But we had something that was workable and we used in the survey. So it's just the reason to include the full list is because I think people will be interested in the full list. I think it's a really important part of what we've
Yeah.
done. So
If you want in forms of, I can have a table, like heading and then 3 columns, and it could be there, or it could be word cloud with all 37 of them.
Yeah.
Whatever you do.
I
Can
think
you
that
tag me here? I will do that. Can you tag me here?
yeah, sure. I think that probably it's easier with columns, or I mean, because a word cloud will mix all of them together.
Yes, dividing them into categories might be a
Helpful.
good idea.
Rabia Shafi.British Council, because I don't get messages on this one.
British Council, do I have you here? Okay, yes.
This one, yes.
That's
Thank you.
the one. That's the one.
Thank you.
Okay. Now Janet has left. I don't know if Janet has revised her part.
Not that I can see.
No.
Yes, can you see that the font looks different? Can you click on it? This font
Yes.
looks different.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a different font.
So we need to ask Janet to do that then. So the task for Janet, as the same task for us, was to to thin it down. And also, it doesn't have anything, I don't think, doesn't draw on the survey.
No.
Mm.
No. Yeah, I suggested. No. There is
It's
some
just
literature, but not on the survey. Include.
it's just it's just an opinion, isn't it?
No. Opinions from the survey.
Well, not opinions, the results.
Fine.
Let's reinforce that message.
Yeah.
And
So,
then, sorry.
role of artificial intelligence. Liz, would you like to say something about this?
This is I talked to Sylvia yesterday, and because what happened, we have two versions here. There are two versions of the same, let's say, based on the same ideas. The second one is the one that contains the participants' comments from the survey. So probably we could eliminate the one that appears above.
Okay, so shall we do that?
Yes. Yeah, because anyway, it is in the other draft if there is anything. But I mean, we actually worked on it, and it's I didn't I think you eliminated the title as well, Sylvia. I know that Sylvia Lupi was going to work on hasta new version that would be clear. Okay. That would exactly, that's the part to be eliminated. And I know that she was going to work on a more synthesized version. So what I don't know is if the version here is already the synthesized one. So we probably need to go back to it. As I was not at the meeting, at our last meeting, this is what we discussed yesterday.
And okay, so here I need to turn this, say, no names at all, make it more general, and include the material from Rabia and John that is below.
Okay then. So that's right. So my question then is, do we want to, when we talked about this before, what are we going to do with the case studies and our reflections and stuff? I can't remember what it was that we decided, but
I think we were going to leave them in the companion, the detailed.
Yeah, certainly the detail. But did we want to, we could either weave them in or have them as a separate section. So I think having them as a separate section might be easier and also easier for the reader. as well as you have got at the moment?
I think that they are not separate. No, structure.
No?
No, there are kind of themes. Learning was also reciprocal, and we get a bit of from the different case studies. So the weaving is done with like different themes. Models provided useful lenses, and the different models applied. We are not talking about the case study, the separate case studies. We are talking about what we learned. We learned about reciprocity and the evidence from the
Sure.
case studies.
So after we mentored each other, we've got a deeper understanding of what mentoring is. So we could, as one option, take that new understanding and put it into the section which is called What is Mentoring? If you see what I mean. So we're weaving in our conclusions from doing it ourselves, or as you have done, and I think this is right, or we could leave it as a separate section as it is at the moment, section number 3.
Oh, I understand. So you mean
Yeah.
not have it as a separate section, but we go back to the definitions part, and we include the new knowledge that we have gained.
Yeah, so from an academic point of view, it seems to me that to weave it in makes sense
Okay.
because we're looking to draw, in order to support what we're saying, we're looking to draw on 3 kinds of data: the literature, our survey, and our experience.
Okay. All right.
So, well,
Okay.
this is the question. I think it's academically more robust, but I think it's easier
Yeah.
and more understandable to keep it as a separate section. So what we could do is that you could look at it and
Yes.
think, okay, so out of these 4 or 5 case studies, we've got something which is common, which talks about
Yes.
a new or changed understanding of what mentoring is, for example.
Yeah. Yes, I understand your point, because when I first wrote the definitions part, I weaved in our what we learned with Jerusa. I didn't say Jerusa did this, Jerusa did that. Then I changed everything again, and I only included literature review and the survey answers. So that part, Jerusa's comments and all that. Now I can bring all this in and weave it in. And we have the definitions part with literature, our experiences, and the survey answers. Yes, I understand.
Okay. Yeah. Do you agree with that, Elizabeth and Rabia, that that's what we should do?
I'm listening intently, and I'm trying to think what would be best for a reader, for the reader. Now we have different kinds. We're going to have different kinds of readers, more experienced, less experienced. I originally thought that having the practical part, let's say, or the mentored applied section at the end would give us the opportunity to go back to what was said in the first part of the article, whether it's definitions or models or whatever. And I thought that it made sense. But now I'm thinking of what you were saying, and it also makes sense.
Mm.
So
Look, we're
it's
not
like,
going to delete anything. We're going to
no,
give
no,
that
no, no, no.
we're
No,
going to give
I
it a
know.
try. If it doesn't
I mean,
suit us, we can go back to this.
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm trying to think what would be more suitable for a reader who is reading the about mentoring for the first time.
Can I say something here? I
Yeah.
think the way we used to do research was always like we introduce what it is, then we would introduce literary like reviews or literature review, and then we put the outcomes of like how we are planning to do or collect information or data, and then we would write our like analysis of that. So this is the analysis, and analysis, if it is
The discussion.
consolidated towards the end or discussion, would be more meaningful, because now we have introduced to them what mentoring is according to so many other people who have like printed literature, which is more kind of in there, already out there. But then we experienced it, and this is what we as a cop experienced. So I think that putting it separately as something we did, it is our cops, you can say collaboration or something, maybe it would be more meaningful in that way, that this is from our experience. It is not just what mentoring is. This is what we came to know as a part of what we experienced. So either we put it in there or at the end will not make much difference, just highlighting that this is our experience
Yeah.
anywhere.
I think the highlighting bit is the key thing to what you said. And I think in the introduction, we probably need to make more of the fact that we've weaved in the survey results. And I think, if Sylvia is happy to do this, then we weave in the experiential data as well. And the more I think about it, the more I think coherent that is as an approach for an article. I think, we could do everything separately. And I think, Elizabeth's first time reader, for example, that would be more helpful, wouldn't it? This is what the literature says, this is what the survey said, and this is what our own experience tells us. That would be nice and easy and logical to follow. And, in a way that is perhaps how the companion works to some extent. It's chronological, it's compartmentalized.
Probably it's more suitable for the companion, as you're saying, right?
I think so. And I think, it depends where this article goes, but I think we can probably assume that people will be used to digesting information and seeing how we try to triangulate and put everything together. So what we're saying to the reader, the experienced reader, is, look, we're pretty sure that this is what mentoring is, because this is what literature says, this is what our survey says, and this is what our experience told us after we discussed in a collaborative learning way. I think that.
And it's a fresh approach. If the companion is going to have all this information in a separate section, so then the articles should bring a different approach, and then weaving in would be a great idea.
Okay, let's do that then in that case. So there's no section 3 anymore.
Okay.
But
the thing is that we actually have to check whether we have information from the experiential part to weave into all sections. Because maybe we don't have any information to weave into what Rabia and I still have to work on, which is the comparison part. I don't know. I have to read the cases, as I was not involved in any of the cases. I really didn't read that in detail.
Yeah.
So probably
and I think that's what Sylvia is saying, isn't it? You're going to try doing that, but if there's nothing to say that fits, then we have a separate section, because it's useful and interesting as a thing in itself. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And Sylvia, you've been doing so much. If there is anything you want me to do, please let me know, and I'll take some time out and do it.
Well, use your evaluation skills and read critically, because once you read it again, you think it's okay, and a different pair of eyes will definitely help.
I'll do that. But if you need support with anything, please let me know, and I'll help you out.
Great.
Maybe we can already delete the section as from page 19. Would that be okay?
Well, let me use it again as sources for weaving in everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to delete. I want to
Yeah, I
clean the
know.
version.
Wait, hold on. Let me
Okay.
finish
All
this
right.
off, and then we delete it. So how many sections will we have in the end?
Okay, then. So that brings us perhaps to the last two questions that we've got before we finish.
Yes, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, John. I don't want to forget this. We will have to mention the part of the what was the introduction to the experiential part of applying doing mentoring will probably have to be explained in the introduction.
Exactly. I've made a note of that.
Okay.
Doing mentoring here in the introduction.
Okay.
But
It's
we need to
there.
make it
Okay.
explicit that in answering these questions, then we've drawn on these three sources of data.
I like how it's now evolved.
Yes. We are seeing the light at the end of a tunnel.
So, have we answered the questions then? How can mentors develop proficient? I told you I was going to check this out.
Yeah. So I've got a suggestion and a question really, which is about what you've got on professional development. So in the article, we've said, all right, so this is mentoring, these are the skills you need, these are the frameworks you can use, that kind of thing. So what we could do is that in the conclusion, we could focus that on the professional development of mentors, developing as a mentor.
In the
We could make
conclusion,
that,
not as a section.
well, as a this is the question, it works perfectly well as a section in itself. So it's just a choice, really. That's what doesn't make any difference.
Because
But
generally, the conclusion includes like a synthesis of all we have seen, nothing new. That's what my teachers taught me.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Which is why I thought it might work as a conclusion, because it seems to me that what we're trying to do is we're trying to tell people how to become better mentors. So you read this article, you've got a better idea of what it is, better idea of the skills. So our conclusion is this is our definition, these are the skills you need, these are our conclusions about frameworks and AI. So we repeat that as a summary, like your teachers told you to do, and my teachers likewise. And then we say, aha, so with all of that in mind, our experience suggests that becoming an effective mentor is not simply a matter of acquiring a set of techniques, blah, 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 blah. If you see what I mean, that it seems to me that it kind of leads on from our summary, this sort of call for action, this sort of what you can do next.
So, so this, you wouldn't include all this in the call for action. You would just say, do something. Good.
No, because that section is too long to be the conclusion.
Anyway,
to be part of the conclusion.
Of course.
Probably this would be part of the companion. This long section you have developed here, Sylvia.
Yeah, that's probably, isn't it? Brilliant, extensive. But if our task is to try and thin it out, it's just a suggestion. We can have it as a separate section.
We still have to check the amount of words we have.
Yeah, it might help us to make it smaller. And also, you've got stuff in there about the functioning of the community of practice as well, which I think is also a good point to have in the conclusion, because we want to stress the fact that, we came to all of this through a collaborative learning experience. So, it just struck me when I was reading it, this would be a nice way to finish.
Okay. Like a call for action.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
To be included.
I mean, have a think about it. You know, see what it could. You know, you're going to thin it out a bit anyway, aren't you? So just have a think about it and think, oh, okay, well, can this follow on from the summary, or do I need to put it beforehand and include elements of it in the summary?
Okay. Okay. So then we would only have 2 sections. Is that what you mean? No.
No, because we have the section of the skills and the section of the
Models.
models and
Yeah.
then one of the challenges. No, we have more than
Yeah,
On
we've got,
AI as well.
got 1, 2, 3,
and
4,
AI.
5. We've got five sections: definitions, models, skills, challenges, AI.
Okay.
Okay. We've got an introduction and conclusion, and we're just now talking about whether to have professional development as a 6th section or to have it in the conclusion.
Okay. All right. We have plenty to do.
That's right. So on my list here,
Yes.
we've got a couple of documents to make sure that we've got nicely prepared that can be uploaded onto Sylvia's ResearchGate, which is about discrete skills, 37, and also a summary of the survey. Yeah. Janet needs to have a look at the challenges again.
Sorry, Rabia, would you
Sure.
like to prepare a report on the results of the survey? I think as we're going to upload it in a more formal place, it could have a certain, format of a kind of report. I think it, because people might find it and, well,
That's a really smart idea. And so do you remember we also did not just the laying out the results, we also did a bit of analysis and a bit of interpretation as well, didn't we?
yes, the
So
word.
we could include that in it as well.
Yes.
So Sylvia Ailes going to have another quick check on the AI section, but the one that's in there at the moment includes the survey results. And I don't think there's anything from the case studies that highlights anything new about AI. I don't think.
No.
I'll be doubtful. And then
The survey,
Sylvia,
but not in the experience. It's in the survey. We talked about like AI and what we think about
Yes,
it.
but that is something that we included. I'm wondering whether we really need to synthesize that section further, because we did that several times. Well, I'll read it again and see if we can come, because if not, that section would probably be too short compared to others. And let's see how long it is. Let me check.
no, I think that's right, Elizabeth. I think it's finished. It's just that you said you wanted to just have a quick final check or something. So.
Yes, okay. So we'll do that with Sylvia and with Sylvia Lupi and see if there is anything else. I mean, as we don't have to weave in anything from the applied section, it's like almost done, but we will do a final checkup.
Okay then, and then there's the case studies about weaving those in to our main sections if there's anything to do that, and to decide whether that works, and if it doesn't work, then we just leave it separate. And then the other question, last question, just looking at the professional development of a mentor section, whether it makes sense to have it in the conclusion or have it as a separate section.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you so much. We're meeting in 2 weeks' time. Is that so? Okay. That would be Uh, oh, the 4th of September, there is a conference on AI. I don't know if you, TESOL is organizing it. I don't know if you heard about it. Maybe
I will be flying to Madrid on that day,
Yes.
so I won't be able to join.
No, I know. So I don't know.
Should we
Shall we?
meet in we could meet a week earlier or a week later?
A week
or different-
earlier? Next week? Is that okay? Liz, are you here next week?
Yes, next week I'm here. Yes.
Okay. So what if we meet on the 28th?
Fine with
Okay.
me.
Oof. Great. Lots of things going on.
But it's
Yeah.
again, you know, it is I think shaping up very nicely, and it's all part of the process of learning, isn't it? You know that it's you know this thing about I will never forget the moment where I can't remember who it was now. Having said I'll never forget, somebody said, you know, one of the things that distinguishes communities of practice that really makes them work is collaborative output. And it seems kind of common sense, doesn't it? If you're all working on something, that seems to be logical. But it's extraordinary,
Yeah,
isn't it? How what a difference it makes, you know, that we've got this product in mind. And even though it's been going on for a while, kind of thing, we still kind of, you know, want to get it finished, want to get it done. And, you know, it's all the difference in the world to sort of general chit chat or discussion, isn't it?
sure. It's a task that motivates us, inspires us, and also the getting together to produce it. I feel
Yes.
that is also say the not only the social part, talking about football and all
Mhm.
that, which I love, but also the thinking. There's so much thinking going on.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that this time.
And
I mean, I
and
can't find this anywhere else, so it's amazing.
it's
Mhm.
yeah, although we did agree not to talk about football ever again, obviously.
No, no, no. Please, no. Let's drop it there.
Do you know what? As well, I think the doing it online, doing something like this online, is actually a really it's very good for your general skills about listening and about giving people time to finish something that they're currently working on, so they can, you know, so that everybody's sort of there for the next bit, that kind of thing. These are such important skills in life, and in my experience, sometimes a little bit scarce. You know,
Mhm.
that when you're doing something with somebody else and they're at a different stage or they're not listening to what you've got to say, all of those sorts of things. You know, whereas you know it works very well, doesn't it? For the kind of people that do listen,
Yes,
take our time. Seems to
For
and
me,
interdependence as well, because we depend on each other. This idea
Mhm.
of the group. I mean, if we don't work together, this doesn't come out. So this is
Mhm.
also important.
Yeah,
and
collaboration.
for me, when I came into this, I did not even know that I've been doing mentoring for a very long time. But with rest of you, you had the academic experience of that as well, developing courses and doing that. So for me, I have transitioned a lot from be thinking I don't know anything to now knowing a lot. So for me, it has been a great learning experience, to be very honest.
Yeah, I mean, you had all the implicit knowledge. I mean, it was there.
Mhm.
Now you
Yes.
can put words to it. You can define it. Now you have the technical knowledge. But
Yeah.
I
Or
mean,
The
becoming aware
skills,
that you'd been
the
doing it for a
framework.
long time
Yes, yes,
without
yes, yes.
realizing.
Yeah, so now I have confidence that I know what it is
Mm-hmm.
and what it
It's so
is.
true. And I think also, in addition to what we just said, but following on from that, um, you know, the different skills that are resident in the group, you know, it's a
Mm.
collaborative learning experience compared to doing things yourself. So not just about dependence. I was watching, Sylvia, you were working through the tabs with the headings. Rabbi is saying, well, if you do that, it'll come up instantly and stuff. So it's the kinds of things that I think I would struggle to do that, or I'd struggle to do it as quickly as you can. And I didn't realize that about the tab coming up. So in passing, there are some skills in there, but that you're beyond interdependence. It's the opportunity to see other people in action doing things that maybe you struggle with, or seeing people struggle with things that you find particularly easy. All of those. So it's just such a profound learning, I think, on so many different levels.
I agree.
I always look forward to occasions like this. I generally call Sylvia. Sylvia, shall we write an article? But not because of the article itself, but the experience of discussing, of starting it from the white blank page and well, putting all our experience at stake again, questioning it. But for the experience itself, the product is great, and then it will come back. But the process is very enlightening. So I hope that when we finish all this, you start off another community of practice.
Well, I think Nelson's doing one. I mean, didn't we understand that as soon as Nelson's finished his doctorate, he wants to have a focus on something? Yeah, I don't know what he's
yes,
but yeah,
he promised. He promised.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. The same.
Okay.
We'll see you in 1 week.
Bye-bye.
In a week.
Take care. All right, all the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.